Welcome back, Michigan DECA. So SCDC is nearly here, as we know. It's right around the corner. So we thought it'd be a good idea to do a kind of like a know before you go. So you're not panic packing at midnight, you're not lost in Huntington Place, and definitely not showing up late to any competition or lost in anywhere. Remember, SCDC doesn't start when you walk into Huntington Place. It starts when you zip your suitcase. So first and foremost, let's start with a DECA essentials packing list, things that you're going to want to have in your suitcase, things you're going to want to bring to the conference. So the first thing you're going to do when you get there is you're going to go to orientation. So you're going to need an orientation outfit, and typically this is something business casual. And then your competition outfit, that's going to be your full, business professional, which can be consisting of, blazers, pants, collared shirts, blouses. You're always going to need a tie or a scarf if you have a collar on your shirt. Dress socks, it's always considered professional to wear black socks in a business setting. Do not forget the dress shoes. I've forgotten dress shoes at a conference before, and it sucks. It's not fun having to ask people to wear them and borrow them. And undershirts, that's a very commonly forgotten thing, especially if when you're packing, you can easily just overlook it because you're thinking about the suit, but you need an undershirt too if you want to keep clean. And then, DECA isn't all strictly just business professional. So it's a great idea to get some casual clothes for when you're going out with your chapter, for the entertainment session. And then another commonly overlooked thing is sleepwear, something to sleep in. You're going to be sharing a room with people, so it's probably a good idea to get some sleepwear. And then workout clothes. I mean, we no days off here in DECA, so bring some workout clothes because you're going to have lots of downtime, and you can stay on top of your fitness, your training. Remember, no days off here in DECA. You definitely are going to need your toiletries. So just a quick little essentials list here. Your toothbrush, deodorant, if you like to smell good, perfume or cologne. For the ladies' makeup, hair ties, hairbrush, hair products, a razor. You gotta keep a fresh look, some shaving cream. And then, if you take medications, definitely bring those because you're going to be far away from home, so it's would definitely be an inconvenience for you to forget those. And then competition materials for those prepared events, bring all of your supplies. Again, it's going to be pretty difficult to go back home and get those. Your study guides. Everybody should come prepared with a pen and or a pencil. If your event requires it, a four-function calculator. Remember, no graphing calculators of any kind, and the calculators cannot be shared. So if you need a calculator, make sure to bring your own, and they must be four function. If your event requires, or maybe you think it might be useful, your computer or tablet, if applicable. During, I think, the opening session, there's going to be a miracle minute, so it's a great idea to bring some cash for that. A dollar or two, that goes a long way. There's going to be about 5,000 people in the room. If everybody brought a dollar, think about it, do the math. And then also money for food as well. So the Miracle Minute and for food. And then also remember, we're bringing business professional clothing. So it's a great idea to bring a steamer or an iron or anything to get those wrinkles out of those clothes, just to keep them looking clean, fresh, and cut. Emergencies happen. Sometimes a button falls off of your blazer. So some people I know, they bring a sewing kit for emergency repairs, and then a watch if you like to keep time. But remember, during competition, you're not allowed to bring a smartwatch because that is considered an unfair advantage sometimes. And then lastly, chargers for your phone, chargers for your computer. It's something that we always forget, but it's pretty simple. Lastly, just because we're talking about clothing, we got to say it. DECA does have a dress code, and if you have any questions or maybe you're uncertain about something, be sure to consult DECA Direct because there's a very detailed dress code on there. And because, for example, sometimes boat shoes are not acceptable footwear, and so maybe not everybody knows that. And there are a lot of little tiny things like that a lot of people can lose easy points on for their role plays, and I'd hate for that to happen to you. So be sure to consult the dress code before you come to SCDC, and everything should go very smoothly. So starting with Thursday, that's going to be your registration day, time to pick up the materials. And if you want to get a conference t-shirt, that's the perfect time to do it. That's going to take place from 11 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. And that's going to be in two locations depending on where you're staying in which hotel. So For everyone staying in the Renaissance Center and the Marriott Courtyard, you're going to go to Ontario Registration Desk. And then for everybody else in every other hotel, that's going to be in room 321 Huntington Place. And then orientations and testing are going to be taking place at different times in different locations depending on which event you're going to be competing in. So pay attention for this. For those prepared events, those are going to start at 2 o'clock p.m. in Hall C, and then competition will follow the orientations starting at 3 o'clock p.m. Now, for role play orientations and testing, the series event orientations will start at 2:30 p.m., and that's all series events. And then everything else, including the team decision making, principals, selling, state events, all of that, that will start at 5 o'clock. And again, that's just everything, it all starts at 5. And just remember, consult your conference program for all of the orientation locations and times. It's all going to be included in that as well. And then shortly after all of that, everybody's going to be done. And that's time for the state officer candidate campaigns. So if you are a voting delegate, you're going to need to attend the state officer campaign session in the candidate room, where you're going to be able to meet, interact with all the candidates, get a good feel for them before you're going to be voting. And that is going to be between 7 o'clock p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in room 320 in Huntington Place. And remember, that's only for the voting delegates. And then right after that is going to be the opening session, which this is always a fan favorite. Everybody always says this is the best part of SCDC. The energy in this room, boy, when my first year as a DECA member, seeing the opening session, I thought it was going to be kind of boring, drab, whatever. No, 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 definitely not the case. It's like a concert in there. It's really fun. So I'd be looking forward to that a lot. I certainly am this year. And that is during that, you're also going to be able to get to hear from each of the candidates. They're going to be a 1-minute speech where they get to introduce themselves and say whatever they want. But remember, in order to get into this opening session or any session at this SCDC for that matter, you must always be wearing your name badge for admission. Then that's for security purposes, just so that we know there are only going to be DECA members in our room and nobody else. And then wrapping up the night, curfew's at 11:30 p.m. And that's Thursday. Friday, this is where things start to get real for most competitors, because this is competition day for your role plays. So in the AM, the TDMs can start checking in at 8:30, and the individual events can start checking in at 9 a.m. And now for the PM events, the TDMs can start checking in at 12:30, and the individual events at 1 o'clock. Now, remember that the time that you receive on your schedule and check-in is not your competition time. It's a check-in time. So a lot of people can get kind of anxious and start worrying when they checked in at the time that it says on their card, but they're not competing yet. Just remember, keep in mind, that is the check-in time. That's just when we expect you to check in, not when we expect you to compete. So as long as you arrive by the time that we give you and check in by that time, you will be all right, and you're perfect, you're golden. But also do remember to always arrive on DECA time, which means that you're 15 minutes early. So say that my card says I need to be there at 3 o'clock. That's a 3 o'clock check-in. They're going to expect me to be there at 2:45. With obviously I can't arrive at 3, but we really would like you to be there by 2:45, which is 15 minutes early. And next up, we have math and econ testing, which will take place starting at 9:30 a.m. in 420 Huntington Place. We will also have IMC testing, which will start at 10 a.m. in Grand Riverview Ballroom A. During this day, we will also have kind of an exhibit for multiple different vendors. This will be open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Be sure to stop by and engage with them, and you can learn a lot of cool things, make some cool connections, meet some awesome people. It's a really good opportunity for networking, especially, and get a good gauge on maybe some avenues you might want to go. Especially be sure to check out Lake Trust Credit Union. Huge thank you to you for graciously sponsoring personal financial literacy this year. Then after that, we're going to end the night with an entertainment session, starting with some awards and recognition. So if you're participating in the following, listen closely and be sure to come to this session stage ready, which means that you must be in professional attire. Otherwise, unfortunately, you will not be allowed on stage. We can't have you receiving an award in a t-shirt and shorts. So those awards will be Chapter Awards Program, Merit Awards Program, School-Based Enterprise, Leadership and Teamwork, Ethics Team Event, Marketing Math Exam, Econ Exam, ICDC Academy participants. Finally, on Friday, we'll be wrapping up, like I said, with the entertainment session, where we will be hearing from a speaker by the name of Eddie Slawikowski. Now, if you attended the Ultimate DECA Power Trip this year in Washington, you might already remember him because he was a speaker there. And personally, I've seen him in action in person, and I attest it's a really fun and engaging session. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that you are too, because like I said, it's a lot of fun, and he does a really great job. Saturday, this is going to be a pretty simple, pretty cut and dry day. It's basically get up early, you get your glass, you go home and you celebrate. In the event that you do get called up on stage for any award, make sure that you're dressed appropriately, or unfortunately, you will not be allowed on stage. And then again, if you do win glass, you need to figure out quickly if you're going to ICDC. And if not, be sure to let your advisor know so that they can let us know so that we can reallocate your spot to somebody else so that we have a full association attending the conference at ICDC. Now, before we wrap up, here's just some quick, rapid fire, don't be that person list. Make sure that you put your badge somewhere where you will not forget it or lose it. You need that to get into all the sessions. And then bring your backup outfit. You spill something, sucks, don't be that person. Keep your blazer clean, steam it the night before. It's really best practice not to fight wrinkles at 6 a.m. before a conference. I've been there, don't do that. Eat breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. You're going to be tired, you're going to be hungry, you're going to be cranky. And then know your check-in time and arrive early. Remember, early equals calm, less stress, better role plays. And practice your intro. It's as simple as your greeting, your name, your association, your purpose, and you're going to give a confident smile to the judge. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. And please don't sabotage the outfit with the wrong shoes. Consult the dress code on DECA Direct to be sure that you don't lose precious points on your role plays just because you accidentally brought the wrong pair of shoes. And that is your know before you go for SCDC. Team 80 is wishing you the best of luck in your competitions and campaigns. And we'll see you in just a few days for the largest SCDC in Michigan DECA history. Now pack smart, get some sleep, and show up ready. I'll see you then.